The other piece of this, too, is when you have state legislatures that actually do want to pass comprehensive gun reform, we have a Supreme Court that unfortunately sided with the gun lobby last year.
Hey folks, Dale Jackson here for Yellowhammer Now, and I want to talk to you a little bit about a new school shelter that is getting a lot of national news after it's been used in Cullman, Alabama. CNN has a clip about it. Let's watch it.
One Alabama school system is taking action in the aftermath of the deadly mass shooting last year in Uvalde that killed 19 students and 2 teachers. It's installed collapsible, bulletproof safe rooms in 2 classrooms for special needs students at an elementary school. Officials say that there is a plan to install even more in the district. Now, each safe room is designed to be opened and fully deployed as a shelter in as little as 10 seconds and can hold up to 30 people. Joining us to talk more about all this, CNN media analyst Sarah Fisher, and back with us, Alex Burns, Alencia Johnson, and Joe Walsh. Walsh, let me talk to you first about this, Sarah. I mean, the idea that this is happening right now, and we know, sadly, we don't have enough time in the show to cover the amount of mass shootings that have taken place even this year, and school shootings even more tragic. When you think about this as a step, have people given up on the idea of prevention, and now it's about trying to accept that it might actually happen?
Now, the cost of this thing, we've heard anywhere from $60,000 to $288,000. And I will just say this. The entire situation we're even having this conversation is, in fact, sad. That is very true. But the issue here needs to be handled a little bit more reasonably. We're not going to put these shelters up in schools all across the country. What we learned after the Uvalde shooting was that a lot of schools didn't have locks and did not have school security guards. And I know, we can look at Uvalde and say you can have all the school security guards that you could possibly want, and you're still not going to stop all of these things, because sometimes the cops aren't going to go in there. Sometimes the security guards, things are going to happen to them. Sometimes there's going to be these other issues that go up. But this kind of stuff is probably not the answer either, because it's so cost prohibitive. Even on the low end, $60,000 for every single classroom is going to be hard to come up with. What we need to do is start building schools in the future with this kind of stuff in place. In one of the stories about this, I read that one of the teachers that uses this, it's a special needs classroom, uses the room as sort of a sensory deprivation room for the special needs kids, or a place to reward them that if they are doing what they're told, they get a little bit of alone time in. This is the way to do this. But you don't bring in a $60,000 contraption. Instead, you plan ahead, and as you build new schools, you start building these things into them. And that's what we need to do. We need to have some innovation on the front end here, as opposed to retrofitting on the back end, because this is probably not going to work. I mean, the obvious solution for all of this is security guards. I mean, sorry, and I know a lot of people don't like the idea that we might have guns in the schools, but you can't stop all the bad guys ever. You want to give the people inside that building as much of a fighting chance as they're going to get. It's a very sad state of affairs, but it is the state of affairs that we are dealing with right now. They can talk about gun control. They can talk about all this other stuff. They can whine about the Supreme Court not allowing them to do the things that they want them to do. It still is not going to stop all of these things from happening, and that is devastating. So we should take whatever we can do feasibly and do it. Don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good. Just because every school can't get one of these shelters like this school in Cullman, Alabama, it doesn't mean that we shouldn't do anything. And all too often, we saw this in the past. If you can't ban guns, well, we're going to resist any type of school safety reform because you're not giving us what we want. And that is a bad idea. People should be able to come together and realize that more good guys with guns will stop bad guys with guns. Is that the perfect answer? Absolutely not. But it is a feasible, doable answer that we should be looking at.